Hi everybody and welcome back to Cozy Corner Crafts. So today's craft is going to be something that lives in the ocean. Let's see, it has babies that are alive and it feeds it milk. And it has fur too. Do you know any animals that do that? Anyways, in your craft kits, you're going to get a brown paper bag that doesn't have a sticker on it this time because you need the bag. So you can make another puppet. But inside the bag is this. And this is a sea otter. And they're pretty amazing creatures. So what you're going to do with your paper is you're going to cut out all the pieces. And I already did it. So, and then you're going to take your bag and you're going to make it flat. So you're going to make a puppet out of your paper bag this time. So there's his head. And then you're going to get 4 paws because they have 4 paws. So he's got front paws and he's got the back paws. So you can see that there is a difference with them. So all you're going to do is you're going to make your sea otter puppet. So there's 2 ways that you can do it, and I'm going to show you just one way, but I'll tell you how to do the other one. Okay, so push this back a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. So you can see that I have put the head really close to the flap, and actually I could probably put a little bit under, but we need room to have his paws, so maybe we'll push it up a little bit higher. And then the bottom paws are going to go to the bottom of the bag. Okay, so that's what it's going to look like once you've got it done. So the other way that you can do it is you would take newspaper and you would open up the whole bag like this, and you would put newspaper in it, and then you would close it up, and you might need something to close it up with, and then you would kind of tear it a tiny bit, but you would put elastic or something like that, and then you would put the face up here, and then you would put the paws on, the top ones on here, and then when you have your bag torn a tiny bit, you would put the other paws. Okay, but we're going to make it the way that I showed you first. So we're going to glue everything down, and then I'll tell you something interesting about sea otters. So sea otters live on the west coast, and you can find them from Alaska, way up north, all the way down to California. And because the sea otters were taken away from California, there was no seaweed, or kelp it's called, in California. So they took some sea otters from Alaska where they were growing, and they brought them back to California, and they let them go. And what happened is because there were these really spiny little creatures, they're called sea urchins, is a sea otter's one of its favorite foods. And so what it did, it ate a whole bunch of those sea urchins, and because the sea urchins were gone, the kelp forest grew in the water. And so what the sea otters do is when they sleep, they wrap the kelp around them and they sleep on the back. And also, neat thing that sea otters do too is because the kelp came back, these big clams came back. So the sea otters go all the way down to the bottom of the ocean and they pick up these clams and they bring them up. And the funny thing is that they also bring rocks up. And so what they do is they took the clams and they put them on their chest, and then they take the rocks and they hit the clams with the rock on their chests. And then, funny thing is, they eat the clams and then they get it all over them. So you know what they do? They just spin around into the water. So they go face first into the water and then they're clean again. That's pretty cool, hey? So I'm going to show you quickly how to put your sea otters together. So I've got my sea otter here again. So there you go. Oh, and another interesting thing is, after they brought the sea otters back and the kelp forest came back in the water, guess what else came back? The fish came back too. So that is pretty amazing what one animal being brought back to California brought back the kelp forests, the fish, and because the fish lived in there, they had babies, and because the fish babies grew there, they had more babies and more babies, and it was a lot healthier for everybody just because they brought the sea otters back to California. Okay, and so here is your sea otter puppet. And you can definitely put a lot more glue on the head for the sea otter puppet. So here is your craft for Cozy Corner Stories, and hope to see you soon on Thursday mornings at 10:30 to 11. And if you do something special with your sea otter, I think I'm going to call him Otto the Sea Otter. And we'll see you guys soon. Bye.